Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 20th, presented by Mercury. Hey, it's Thanksgiving week, folks, and we hope that you get to spend a bunch of time with your family, probably getting out on the water a little bit, and we know you're going to go out there and sit in a deer stand too. But we are closed this week to let our employees and our partners be able to take time with their families. We are so thankful for everything that all of you guys do to be a part of the Bucks Island family yourselves. Thank you for all of your support. So, in thanks, we're going to go ahead and let Josh, Tom, and Lee tell you what's going on those bodies of waters that they fish. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with the guys. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 20th, presented by Mercury. Well, we're going to do a little special treat today. Our friend Josh Herron is on assignment in Grand Mexico working for Reaction Innovations, but he spent some time this past week fishing on Logan Martin and Lay Lake. So Josh, tell us what you know is going on down there at those bodies of water while you're down there. Fiesta.
Yes, Dan. Man, we're kind of still in that holding pattern, but it's definitely getting better, it seems like. So that's a good thing. I mean, like I said, every week we kind of get into this more traditional fall pattern, heading more into the winter pattern. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Summer wasn't great this year, so I'm hoping for a really great fall into winter. It's going to be kind of the same thing that we're chasing right now. You're seeing a lot more bait school up farther back in these creeks, which is a pretty good thing. It kind of puts these fish in more of a what I would call a more traditional fall winter kind of deal, where they're going to start getting on these little pods of bait and picking them off at a pretty rapid rate. So it's going to be a really good time to get in these creeks, throw flat sides, throw square bills, jerk baits. I'm really hoping we don't get blown out with mud with these fronts and all. And, I mean, you're going to be able to do a lot of things like the jerk baits and the spy baits and stuff like that, which is something we don't get to do a lot in the state, but it's a really good time when you get the opportunity to.
Well, I know that a lot of times when you see that much bait in the water, sometimes you kind of want to go look where there's not as much bait. Is that something that you would focus on, or would you go look for the bait?
No, I'm kind of the same deal. I've never had great days fishing giant pods of bait. It's just, I don't know why. You know they're there. You can see them chasing. But I think it's traditionally your better quality of fish have always been more nomadic, loner kind of deals. Just from my reference, they always seem to be, especially if you're going to chase fish on the bank. It's never been a big pod deal. But, I mean, start looking for any of those turns, like halfway back in these creeks on these natural creek channels. It's going to be a great place to look. Bluff ends are really, really good this time of year, especially the kind you can see that go from natural rock to more like flat mud clay kind of deals. Because, I mean, we're right on the edge of water temperature where you're going to start seeing the crawfish kind of peter out for the year and go into their hibernation, which generally happens around 52, 54 degrees. So those fish know what's coming, and they're going to start putting that feed on for the winter.
Yeah, and you'll see the crappie fishermen are kind of stacked up on the main channels, and be aware for stripers that are schooling. So, hey, Josh, man, we appreciate everything. Safe travels on the way home, and gracias.
See you, buddy.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 20th, presented by Mercury. Hey, we're going to go right now to our buddy Tom Ott. Tom, what's going on Guntersville?
Man, I'm telling you, Dan, I'm a little angry at them. If you fish long enough, you make some bad decisions sometimes on the water. And the only good decision I made last weekend was to fire up that Mercury and move spots. But sometimes we get hard-headed. But the water temperature's dropping. These cold nights are really turning the fish on. And anywhere really between 3 feet and 8 feet, these fish are just, I like to call them wolf packs, but, typically if you just see these small groups of fish that are blowing up on the bait, those are where your larger fish are going to be. Right now, I mean, we were catching some fish. I really thought I was onto something with a jerk bait, but you can definitely catch fish there. But obviously the larger fish aren't really, on that pattern at this particular moment anyway. But I think the A-rig, I saw some reports of some 8-pounders caught this week on an Alabama rig. So, it's definitely getting there to to catch those big fish. And I mean, between now and probably the end of February, we're going to see our largest fish caught on the lake.
ABT 100 is there this Saturday. And there's going to be 100 boats, big money tournament. What do you expect to see win a tournament like that this time of the year? What kind of weights are we looking for?
I'll be honest with you, I really think something north of 20 pounds is gonna win, is what I would think. I mean, these are some of the best fishermen out there, so they're definitely going to dial in. The weather's turning out to be just about right for this time of the year, so I'm thinking somewhere between 23, 25 pounds, and cross my fingers and hope that I'm right there. But that's definitely what I would think with this caliber of field for sure.
And I know that down here on Neely Henry, we're seeing a lot of those crappie anglers are still out there on the main channel. The crappie seem to be a little bit behind. Are you seeing that up there as well?
Man, I'm telling you, Daniel, those fish are really coming out of the deep water now, moving through the creek. So, I mean, it's getting the causeways are loaded up with fishermen all day long. I've heard reports of 30 to 60 fish being caught right now, and some really nice, some nice fish. They're just following in with the bait, probably really relating to those to the causeway edges, at least to the vertical drops there. But they're gonna just keep on dispersing as far as and through the spring as they start to spawn too. So. They're just going to keep on moving back, and it's just going to get better and better. We've got a good population on Guntersville right now of crappie for sure.
Well, man, we appreciate everything as always. Have a great weekend. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 20th, presented by Mercury. Hey, it's time for us to connect with our favorite crappie guide from Weiss Lake, Lee Pitts. Lee's been kind of feeling a little bit under the weather, but he seems to be doing really well, and I know that he's still out there looking around that waterway. Lee, despite your voice, tell us what's going on over there.
Well, it's had a lot of wind and some issues this week. That's what's got my voice like it is. But the crazy thing is right now we're having a lot of fish being seen out on that main river. But you really, really got to manipulate that bait. Instead of us always this time of year using live bait, we've had to swap over to jigs, and you've got to bounce that jig around that stump and around the brush piles wherever you might it right now. So it's one of those things that, if you're just going to put a rod in the holder and put a live bait on it, you're not going to get bit. I've been putting a 16th and a Bobby Garland baby shad and a slab slayer on there, and you just got to get down there and beat on the door, man. Jerk it up and down. Knock around that brush and just try to force them to eat it right now. That's about the only way you can get bit.
So the bass bite on Weiss Lake, that's been kind of still shallow, or are you seeing them moving?
It's most of the fish are still out there deep. They're in that 14, 16, 18 feet of water. They're just holding so tight on that brush right now. If you're just going to, I've got clients, if they're just going to put those rods in the holders and just wait for them to go down, you're not going to get bit. You got to get down there and make something happen. I mean, like I said, you got to beat around and bang around and make these fish eat it right now.
Okay, so let's turn to Neely Henry. I know that we've been seeing those anglers out there on that main channel for the crappie. They're doing a lot of spider rigging and vertical jigging as well. What about the bass bite? What are you hearing out of Neely Henry?
Neely, it's the same type of thing. People are catching fish right now. They're catching numbers. The size is the big thing that's been tough for people. Catching a lot of the spots up on those gravel bars, up around the stumps and things like that. Starting to get more to the backs of some of these creeks. If you've got some docks that have got 2, 3, 4 foot of water in front of it, some of these fish are getting around that. And especially look for the brush. If it's got trash under those docks, that's been the key to it. Not just hitting the outer poles. If you've got brush piles and trash under those docks, that's what you're keying on right now, because for some reason they're really, really wanting to lay in those treetops.
Man, Lee, as always, we appreciate everything. Thanks for your toughness and for being the guy that you are and spending some time with us today, even though your throat's a little sore.
Appreciate y'all bearing with me. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, November the 20th. Don't forget, we're closed. If you needed something, today was the day to come in and get it. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week with more fishing reports, and we'll be back open after the holidays for everybody to be able to get caught up with what they want to do. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving with your family. And again, thank you so much for everything that you do to be a part of Bucks Island family. You are appreciated.